Welcome to Ronin. My name is Rob. This is a personal development journal where almost every day, mostly during the week, I will write my journal and then I will read it and expand on the journal with some extra thoughts. So today is the 13th of October 2025. Today's journal is based around shiny object syndrome, and I'll explain more about that as we go on. But yeah, I'll read the journal and then we'll talk about it after. So, this is a common pattern with me. Start a new project, make some great progress. Progress slows down, either because it gets hard or I don't see immediate results, or I just get bored. Get an idea for a shiny new project. Start new project. Ronin is a classic example of this. It was a distraction from another project. I think it originally started as a personal development website. It then turned into a game programming project. Now it's back to a personal development project. It's more of my personal development journey now, so more like a healthy habit to grow both personally and professionally. Writing my journal helps me process and solidify my thoughts, and recording the videos is a way for me to improve my communication skills, which will benefit many areas of life, from talking to my family to talking to my client, and who knows, maybe one day in front of a crowd. So one thing I need to work on is pushing through when things get tough. Tough isn't even the right word. Complicated is more appropriate. Usually a project starts simple. You come up with an idea, a name, some visuals, and maybe even a prototype. Then you map out the scope of the project and things get complicated quickly. Suddenly, you're looking at a Goliath with a bunch of different areas that will need attention. This is when the overwhelm kicks in, and all of a sudden, a new idea pops into your head. You've got no intention of dropping the other project, but let's just jot some ideas down and do a couple of sketches for this new idea. Before you know it, you're in full prototype mode, and the other project is left incomplete and on a shelf gathering dust. This is also known as shiny object syndrome. I need to break this pattern. I designed the mascot for Ronin last week. Already, my head is running with ideas about the animations I could create to distill some of these personal development ideas into fun videos. This would be great, but I have another project that I really believe in, that I've made some good progress on and has slowed down because of the overwhelm of the amount of work required. I need to say no to Ronin animations and just keep this as a journal. That's step one. Then I need to get clarity on my other project. This means mapping out the current phase of the project in its entirety so I know each step. That's step two. Now that I know each step, I need to put this on a timeline and add it to a calendar so I know exactly when I'll be working on each step. This is step three. Then I need to forget all of the other steps and isolate the very next step and focus 100% until this step is complete. Then I do the same with the next step and so on until the current phase is complete. Then move on to phase two. The project I know I should focus on is Beanhams. It's a character-based project aimed at creating educational material for primary school kids. I really do think it has potential to make a difference and could be life-changing for my family and I. I have to follow through on this project. Yes, so shiny object syndrome has been the bane of my existence. No, it's not that bad. But it has been a real roadblock when it comes to following through on a project. Like I said, Ronin was initially a side project. It was going to be a personal development website, and I dropped that. And then at some point I decided, right, I'm going to use it. I'd like to learn how to program games. I've got some foundational coding knowledge. I went to college to do games, and that ended up sort of turning more into design and animation and illustration rather than the game side of things. So I thought, right, as a side project, I can learn how to program. I can put what I learned onto the website to help others learn. And then again, it turned into a big project that it was just a shiny object to distract me from something else. Now, Beanham's is a project I started a long time ago. It was going to be kind of just a comic strip, just something funny. And then it turned into, I started designing personalized cards. I designed a bunch of these characters for different people with different jobs, and I'd list them on Etsy, and you could personalize them. So with a name. So if you had someone that was going into the Navy, for example, I had a Navy character, and then you could personalize the name. I'd print the card out, send it to them, and I still do that. But then these characters are really well suited for children. So I've designed a colouring activity pack. So you get a picture that you can colour in based on one of the characters, like a firefighter, for example. And then you get some activities in the bottom section of the page. And I've designed the first complete activity pack that's got 8 different characters and then some additional activities in there. And if you print it out, give it to your kids or students or whatever, they can colour it in. It's educational. It's all about the community. So I really want to continue that with other subjects and then develop out this brand that is kind of a go-to place for teachers, where it will have things like animations, it will have games, it will have activities, and it will be a fun way to engage kids and at the same time educate them. That is the project that I really want to follow through on. I have my day-to-day work that pays the bills, which is my company Robotoon, where I do client work, and it's design, illustration, animation. A lot of it is character-based. I get some traditional graphic design work, which is fine. But yeah, it's the character stuff that really that I'm really passionate about. So the next steps, I guess, is to, like I mentioned in my journal, I need to map out and get clear on the roadmap for Beanham's. And then I need to look at the full picture, and then from a macro view, from a wide view. And then once I've got a clear idea of the different steps, then I need to micro focus on each step so it doesn't get overwhelming. And I think this is going to be one of the cures to, it's not going to be the cure, but it's going to be one of the cures to helping not get distracted with other projects and really gain momentum and push forward without getting distracted with other things. Another big part of this is just having the strength to say no to other things, and that comes. I've spoken in some of the past videos. I mean, I've not done a lot of videos, but I have spoken about clarity. I've spoken about living with intention. So I think these two things combined, getting clear on the project and then focusing one step at a time, and then living with intention, we're talking about saying no to impulses, saying no to side projects that can steer you away. And saying no is going to be one of the key properties of living with intention and pushing through on this project. So I will still do my daily journal because I do think that it is very helpful in trying to distill some of these thoughts and kind of self-reflect on why things are working, why things aren't working, and what I can do to move forward. And like I said, it's a good way of improving. Doing the video side of it is a good way of me improving my communication skills. Because if I want to run a business and take, whether it's Robotoon or Beanhams or Ronin, if I want to take them somewhere, make them into something a bit bigger, then I might have to present, I might have to go to meetings with people, and to be able to communicate my ideas clearly and confidently is going to be key. So I think this video section of the journal will help me do that. So I'm going to continue to do that. But I'm going to say no to creating these big projects where I start to animate videos based on the different ideas. I think it would be a great idea using the Ronin as a mascot to communicate these ideas in a fun, distilled way. But I have to say no if I want to get anywhere with Beanhams. So yeah, that is today's journal. If you like this kind of content, then give me a like, give me a subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.